Uh, Thanks very much again for tuning back in. I am so sorry. I'm having some technical problems here. I think it is not SCBC. It is my laptop is getting overheated, but I think the problem is resolved right now. So again, my apologies for that. This hasn't happened before. Go ahead and let's grow the numbers, and let's hope that this time there are no interruptions. So please, thank you for your patience, and thank you, Ground Zero. I must bring you this message. There is no other end to it. So please bear with, have patience with me here and these machines. There's nothing I can do other than try to get them working. Let's hope that right now everything works fine. So again, I was trying to let you know I will be taking a few of your calls to bring you live answers to whatever questions that you may have concerning the struggle, the revolution, where it is heading, and whatever that you may ask, I will try to give you the best of answers that I can. Those that I cannot, I will let you know, because I cannot sit here and bring you answers to every question. So please, go ahead, hit the share button. We are having already over 300 people. So please, the moment, I won't keep you for long. The moment we hit that 1,000 number, I know we should do that in less than 10 minutes. Just go ahead and hit the button. Let others join. Let's hope that it works fine this moment. And I was trying to bring you a message about a warning about what is going on in Ground Zero. The allegations that we continue to receive about some forces on the ground who claim to be fighting for this revolution, harassing people, stealing from people, taking ransom from poor people that they ought not to even pick up or take ransom from. This interim government, we will not tolerate any form of our own people harassing our own people. No matter who you are, no matter what group you lead, it doesn't matter. We will not tolerate any Ambazonian harassing an Ambazonian. We have other groups out there, the Atanganji groups, who are out there harassing people. We do not expect this to come from any Ambazonian, a true Ambazonian patriot fighter who is out there defending our territorial integrity. So please, we ask every neighbor, know who is in this restoration fight. If you know them, and then you find strange people coming to you to demand for money, give nobody a franc or a dime. Anybody who taxes you, who come to you demanding for money, those are not Ambazonian fighters. They are extortionists who just want money. We do not tolerate that. We would not tolerate that. And the abduction of innocent people, harmless and powerless people, is totally condemned. No Ambazonian Restoration Force or any other group in that matter is allowed to do so. Our people cannot be running away from La Republic forces and then also be running away from our own forces. Our forces, remember, they are called self-defense forces. They were put in place to protect us, to protect you, not to hurt you or harm you. And so there is absolutely no reason why any of us on Ground Zero should be running away from our own self-defense groups or restoration groups. And so at this interim government, we will not again tolerate any group, no matter what name by which it is called, from harassing our people. This is very important. We find, any individual found harassing people, arresting people that should not be arrested, innocent and powerless people who should not be arrested. Anybody found carrying out these acts or stealing from people in their communities, We will not accept it or tolerate it. So please be your neighbor's keeper. Know the people that come to you in the name of self-defense or restoration forces. They are not asked, they have not been asked or given any mandate to go out there and collect funds. Anybody treating you to pay a ransom, tell them, now you know they are not fighting for Ambazonia. They are fighting for Paul Atanganji. They are fighting for Peter Mosonge. They are fighting for all these elites who have been bought and paid for by the CPDM. We will not, again, this interim government will not tolerate that kind of behavior. And then I also want you to know, excuse me, please, let me get paper, yeah? Thank you. I also want you to know that things are not going to be any better in the days ahead. We are not going to see things improving on the ground, on ground zero. The Republic is determined more than ever before to cause carnage, whatever amount it can, to see that we surrender to them. We are not going to surrender. We are not giving up. And so I am encouraging everybody on ground zero, wherever you are found, stock enough food and drinks in your home as much as possible. Get enough water in your homes, get enough food items in your home, and store them. And if possible, if you live in the urban or city areas, begin to ask yourself questions like, what if they come attacking the city tomorrow? What if the city is uninhabitable tomorrow? Where do I go? Where do I live? You know that many of you cannot go to Douala. Many of you cannot go to Mbunda, Bafusan from Bamenda. Many of you in Victoria, Boya, Moyoka, Tiko, Akona, Kumba, you may not be able to get to Douala, and you should not even get there. But you should be asking yourself, what if my home is uninhabitable in the days to come? That means you ought to be looking out for alternative places where your family can have some security and some safety. This is very important. And for those of you who are living in the colonial territories, Douala, Yaoundé, and all those important locations where your lives are not safe, where your lives are threatened, please, it is also very important that you begin to ask yourself, where would I go if they come attacking the Anglophones or Southern Cameroonians in the city? You got to start making arrangements to protect your families. None of us is safe, whether in Ambazonia or living in La République du Cameroon. This is the moment you begin to make alternate plans for the safety of your family. This is very, very important. And also, it is very important, I want to appeal to the churches, all the pastors out there. Please, if we have ever prayed for this revolution, the time is now. The moment is now. Prayer and fasting should be going on in every spirit-filled denomination in the diaspora and in ground zero. We cannot win this revolution by the mouth of the gun alone. Prayers have to be added into it. And prayers can make things rough, says King Arthur. So please, I am appealing to all the churches, all the pastors, gather your prayer warriors. Gather them in your homes. Gather them in the churches. Let us fast and pray until heaven comes down and give Paul Biya his surrender. Thank you. Again, go ahead, hit the share button. We are 818 people right now. In about 30 minutes, please hit the share button as you join. And again, I want to appreciate the ground forces on behalf of this interim government for the wonderful work that they are doing. In the days past, a few days past, we have seen their effort in Victoria. We have seen their efforts in Kumba, in Batibo in particular, and all over, of course, our territory. We wouldn't still be talking about this revolution if these, our self-defense boys, our restoration boys, were not there. We salute you for your courage, and I want you to know this interim government has you in mind. Everything that you need is on the way. You will get it. You will receive it. I wish you could get it today. Unfortunately, things are not that realistic. But I can assure you, you will get what you want to see that you execute this war to the best of your abilities and power. So please, I want to appreciate you, every one of you, singing out there, water, now water. We love you, we appreciate you, and we want you to know you are the future army of Ambazonia. Please don't lose up hope. When you run dry of material, don't give up hope. You will get it. You will receive it. It will come. Just stay in there, stand in there, and expect material to come to you. And again, you will surely receive it. Please hit the share button. We have almost 900 people on this platform right now. Go ahead, hit that share button as you join so that I can begin the presentation. And also, I have mentioned about you stocking your homes. I've mentioned about the churches praying. And I will also want to add, as far as restoration is concerned, that every new group coming up or emerging from any part of Ambazonia that needs assistance, please listen to me. Your point of contact is the ASC. Again, your point of contact. The leaders that you should contact are the leaders of the ASC. When you emerge, when you form a group and you need assistance, the interim government will not listen to you directly. You have to talk to the ASC leaders, and the ASC leaders will weigh your needs and channel them to the appropriate people who will take care of them. We want to encourage every emerging restoration team, defense team, to please join, get involved with the ASC. Seek help from the ASC, Ambazonia Self-Defense Council. They will be ready to listen to you and to give you the help that you need. If you call me, I will be able to help you. You call any other person else in the cabinet, they may not be able to help you. But if you should call the ASC leadership, they definitely will be able to help you with what you need and also give you direction on what you do. Let me say this. In this battle, in this war, we need accountability from us, our own people, our own restoration forces. We don't just want to send out money to anybody. We don't just want to send out stuff or material to anybody. We want accountability, and that is why we are asking that every emerging restoration group please reach out to the ASC, and they will definitely come to your help. We have 952 people watching on this platform right now. I hope there is no breakdown again, and I should be bringing you this presentation, which is directed again to every senator, every parliamentarian, and every elite of the Southern Cameroons out there still working for La République du Cameroon. Please, if you know them, send a message to them right now. I am addressing them right now. Send a message to them. And if you are watching by way of SCBC, do so too. Give them a phone call and tell them Chris is addressing you, just you, today. Thank you for doing so. I see Wilson Timer John, Lindowski, I see you. I also see Stan Fondom, thank you. I see also James, I missed that name, James Okole, thank you. Cyprian Chris, I see you, sir. I also see Castro Labistrano, Samuel Ebod, I see you. I also see Insala Diodone. I also see Chris. Somebody say Chris, and some Chris Anu is watching here. Well, I hope that's my wife. All right. I also see Peter J. is watching. I see Manjo Bikene is also watching. We are almost hitting 1,000 people right now. I see the honorable, the holy honorable, one and only, Wanja Mbua Mola is also watching from England. I see Vininta Ngwe is also watching. He says, water, now water. Thank you, sir. That is true. I see Ben Bess is watching from Maryland. Thank you, sir. I also see Trump JB Joa. He said, how did the Korean win their war? They aren't Christian. Phone ground zero. You are very correct, sir. Thank you for that. I also see in the Mirabel, Mambo Pena, Jenny Jack. I see Sikot Judson, Don Dinger. I also see Satis Jeo. And then I also see Nguairin, says from Ireland. I also see Cletus Ingilem. Thank you, sir. Mola is watching. I see also Desmond Fon says, water, na water. Now, I really don't know what that means. I've been listening to that, water, na water again. Somebody put it on the screen here. Give me a good perspective to it. Give me a good meaning to what that water, na water. Let me know what it means. I've been trying to figure that out. I've not been able to do so up to today. I also see Otello the General, Princess Ranga, Steve Dove. I see you, sir. Goddy Brown, Tanjong, I see you, sir. I also see Romero Take. Thank you all for joining. We are now 1,000 and counting. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. I don't have any more reason to hold you, to keep you waiting. I will bring you a broadcast right now. And now remember, I have said that I will be taking your phone calls after this presentation. And I want to give you the phone number now. The phone number you will call after the presentation is 832-672-2759. 832-672-2759. Good evening, fellow Ambazonians. All Southern Cameroon's politicians, including the elites, the chiefs, and the soldiers, who have until this day refused to come to solidarity with our quest for total restoration, because they probably thought this war and our resolve to battle wasn't for real. I'm sure they now have no doubt, no reasons in their heads to continue to live in such obscure denial. Why the people they are supposed to be representing get slaughtered in cold blood and hundreds of thousands chased to the bushes. The slaughter of Southern Cameroonians has now become a daily human hunt expedition by invading soldiers of French Cameroon. This message today is especially directed at all the senators and members of parliament of the Southern Cameroon's extraction. How long is it going to take, sir, before you come to the side of the people? The people you're supposed to be representing. The people you will without hesitation say they voted for you. How long will it take before you come to terms with the realities of their extinction? How long will it take before you open your eyes to this false sense of hope and safety that Yaoundé has promised you? To return home to your people, or with your people, to stand with them, to defend their freedom, and to stand on the right side of history. Your constituents, sirs, your people are being slaughtered like chickens by the same people in whose parliament you sit. Is it really true that this ongoing genocide against your people really mean nothing to you? Do these charred bodies, people killed in their intestines, with their intestines gushing out, their faces disfigured, hands and legs amputated, coming out of Batibo, from Kumba, Munyenge, Boya, Bello, Bambili, do this mean nothing to you? How do you continue to maintain this indifference in such stark reality? Where are your souls and your consciences? Mama Lucy been killed standing at the bus stop, waiting to board a taxi for Bamenda to honor a visa appointment in the colonial capital Yaoundé. Salah Aaron was also whisked from his home in Bangor, dragged on Laterite Road, and tortured until he gave up the ghost. Another one whose only name we got as Titus, who stood holding the hands of his 2-year-old child, was shot in front of his wife and child. In Bambili, students were dragged from their rooms while they prepared exams, and their brains blown open, and they died. The soldiers who killed them forced their parents to sign undertakings, stating that their children, girl children, were terrorists. At my 4 in Victoria, a taximan and his passengers were forced out of the car and killed at the scene. In Injinikejam, a local river in the vicinity of BCHS in Bello is flowing with blood of unarmed civilians who were bundled up like lock of woods, then tied to a tree and then shot to death, and their corpses thrown in the river. In Batibo, they broke into the hospital, the only thing that shouldn't be a torch in times of war, but they broke into it. But French Cameroon soldiers broke into it. They killed women breastfeeding their little ones, killed the patients on drips, and they killed nurses treating the sick. And what about the Ghanaian pastor? What sin did he commit to be shot point blank? I could go on and on and on with stories of victims of this continuing genocide. But again, I ask the question, how long would it take our senators and parliamentarians to come to terms with the fact that their own people are being slaughtered like chickens? Is it true that this carnage means just nothing to you, sirs? Oh, please tell us, tell Southern Cameroonians, what else is going to take for you to rise up and walk away from Yaoundé in clear condemnation of his brutality and savagery on your own people? Right now, as I speak, it is evident, sirs, that the regime that you confide with has no respect for human dignity and human life. May I remind you today, and even Senator Mukete is still alive to attest to this, that when our forefathers faced lesser injustice, in Nigeria, to what we face today in French Cameroon, they didn't hesitate, they didn't wait, but they walked away. They were not waiting even for this kind of pressure, but they walked away from the Federal House of Assembly in Enugu. Their convictions and urge for freedom and justice for their own free homeland united them. And like one man, they called the bluff of the Nigerian Eastern House of Representatives and walked away. Dr. E.M.L. Indele will be doing spins in this tomb today, wondering why your crop of Southern Cameroon's politicians today do not see, or better still, have refused to see that Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia faces a far greater danger than what they faced in Nigeria in 1953-54. And let me remind you, sirs, if you thought for a moment in the past that we are not ready for this war, that we are not capable of battling La République du Cameroon, that La République du Cameroon will crush us, or that we will give up the revolution, almost 2 years of resilience, resistance, and ability to fight back should serve as a pointer to you today that we are up to the task, and that nothing, and I mean nothing that La République du Cameroon does is going to take back or hold back the hand of this clock. Their plan is to demolish more of our towns and villages. They plan on killing more and more of our young men and women. They plan on essentially annihilating our population. But thank God they won't get there. We still have our best and our bravest out there who are ready to face them. We have an army of Southern Cameroon Ambazonians in the diaspora who are ready to go home, if need be, to fight to take back our country. Seeing all the devastation and unnecessary slaughter of our brothers and sisters and our parents, we are determined more than ever before to never again be identified with the name Cameroon. Yes, no amount of bloodletting is going to stop this idea of a free Southern. The bus since left the station, and there is nothing that will stop it. We, the people that you represent, wish to remind you, sirs, of the urgency for you to formally and unconditionally resign from La République du Cameroon institutions. Ambazonia reclaimed its independence from the colonialist La République du Cameroon on the 1st of October 2017. Consequently, Cameroon Outre-Mongo, as they call it, is not represented in French Cameroon institutions anymore. With the failure of the Fumban Accord following the illegal annexation of the Southern Cameroons in 1972 and the final cessation by La République du Cameroon from the Union in 1984, the Southern Cameroons no longer is part of French Cameroon in fact and in law. Participation in the senatorial election was banned in Ambazonia. But all of you, including your parties, the SDF and the CPDM and councillors, defied the people's call and went in for the elections. By you granted a certain legitimacy to the French Cameroon claim over Ambazonia. Know this, sirs, that greed and fear no longer have a part in this revolution. The members of parliament were asked to resign from the National Assembly of French Cameroon, but the majority of them decided to deceive us with fake resignations and ended up resuming their seat in the colonial parliament. We took note of it. Your silence and impotence in the face of the ongoing genocide in Ambazonia is proof that you are toothless in the faith union. French Cameroon knows very well that between your people Ambazonia and your stomachs, you will choose your stomachs. Fear and uncertain political future seems to be the other factor that is pushing some of you to French Cameroon. We do not spare you for that, and we will not. In the present situation, general good has to prevail over all else. In their ignorance and arrogance, French Cameroon calls us, including you, sirs, terrorists and secessionists. They pick and look up our leaders, and you, the representatives, cannot lift a finger. Get the message plain and clear, sirs, that your participation compromises our fight for a total independence from a government that does not entertain dialogue, even within its own institutions. The time has come. The time is now for you to choose between Ambazonia and La République du Cameroun. We, the people that you represent, have chosen for you. Resign. Again, resign now if you want to be with us. All collaboration with French Cameroon shall be taken care of accordingly and forthwith. The form of our state has been decided by the people, and it is for an independent Federal Republic of Ambazonia. You ignore this message, you do so at your own risk. The people of the Southern Cameroons will no longer sit still and watch while you act as accomplices to abort the dream for a restored state of the Southern Cameroons and Ambazonia. You have two options to make within a few days from today. Pack out of French Cameroon, return home and stand on the side of your people, or pack out of the Southern Cameroons and take up permanent residency in French Cameroon. There is no other option. You either openly, and I mean openly, declare your allegiance and support for this cause, for this revolution, and leave Yaoundé within days, or you take up your citizenship and forfeit all your material acquisitions and investments in the Southern Cameroons. Farco and Momo senators, a senator and parliamentarian, Mbela Moki and Joseph Mbandam, have said they are moving to Yaoundé permanently. Their choices are welcome. We hope that they take up citizenship in French Cameroon. However, going forward, the people of Farco and Batibo respectively would have to decide what happens to their homes and what happens to their lands and all their acquisitions in Ambazonia. Isn't it quite condescending that Joseph Mbandam would run away from Batibo, and instead of taking up refuge, say, in Bamenda, he chooses to go to French Cameroon to take up residence? This is the same Joseph Mbandam who fooled all of us in September 2017 that he was resigning from French Cameroon Parliament. And to the so-called Southern Cameroon's elites, Ambazonians, note that you are being called upon today to contribute money to kill, and that you stood idly while Mr. Paul Biya declared his civil war, his evil war against our peace-loving people, and sent his terrorist soldiers to slaughter them, burn down their villages, and commit mayhem. As I speak, you, the elites, so-called, have not as much as raised your voices to condemn the devilish war of dictator Paul Biya. Instead, you have continued to cheer the devil as he kills, steals, and destroys. You are so afraid of telling the truth that dictator Paul Biya is now telling you to pick up the bills for his atrocities against your own people. And shamelessly, you are accepting to pick up the bills. He kills your people and burns down their settlements, and then turns around and asks you to pay for his crimes, or perhaps to give him more money so that he can continue his assignment from the devil. And you gather in your numbers to contribute. Shame on you all. Shame unto you. Fellow Ambazonians, French Cameroon is our worst enemy. It continues, they continue to exterminate and confiscate our lands. They live on lies, fraud, swindle, and they are determined not only to assimilate us, but also to take our land as their own. They have never believed that we have a right to life and to speak for ourselves without their permission. They believe that they ought to control the very oxygen that God himself has given us to breathe. We ought to be their obedient robots, they think. Their plan to annex our country and make it their own started from day one, when they voted against union with the Southern Cameroons in Resolution 1608 of 21 April 1961. Today, they are not ashamed, after voting against union, to concoct another lie that will join with them. Since then, step by step and fraud upon fraud, they have carried out their annexation scheme. Today, however, our people, especially our courageous young men fighting on the ground, are determined to put an end to that armed robbery. Even then, French Cameroon pretend and continue in their lie-telling, deceit, and fraud, aided by the shameless contributors who have stayed silent, our own elites, who have stayed silent while Paul Biya kills a whole people. Ambazonians, tell us, what do we make of a gift from your worst enemy when someone who has been trying to kill you suddenly changes and pretends to love you? Can you believe him? A gift from your worst enemy is nothing but poison, for he has always desired your death and will kill you at the first opportunity. And we know that Devil Biya is scheming on how to destroy all of us and steal our land. Their charity is not genuine. The humanitarian efforts are not genuine and can never be genuine. Fellow Ambazonians, stay away from the charity of dictator Paul Biya, in which he will hide more poison for our people. He is nothing but the devil incarnate. We saw it by the visit of his master. Never trust the devil, no matter whether he puts on the garb of an angel. How will the money be used? The money he is collecting from our own elites. With the contributions purportedly meant to assist our people, not simply coded. Are they not a simply coded language to fund Biya's war against us? Biya has not given up his dream of annexing our territory. Everything he does is towards that end. Where will the contributors get that money? If not through embezzlement. Some of the amounts levied on many of the supposed donors represents many months of their salaries. How many months of their salaries can they give? If that money will not simply be stolen from state funds. Ambazonians, we want to tell the Republic du Cameroon and its minions that Ambazonia does not need their charity. Again, Ambazonia does not need French Cameroon's charity. What Ambazonia needs is justice and truth. And for the Republic of Cameroon to finally accept the fact that it has no title to the territory of the Southern Cameroons. This land belongs in its entirety to Ambazonians, and no one will take it from them. We do not contest even an inch of La République du Cameroon's territory. They must not contest an inch of the Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. If those who are called upon today to contribute have no courage or willingness to tell him this, to tell Paul Biya this, let them not bother. Let them keep their money. You will not solve the problem by contributing money either to help devil Paul Biya in his war or for your deceitful charity. Charity is not a solution to the problem and will never be. We want a solution, not charity. And that solution is for Cameroon to accept to sit down on the table and discuss our separation. The interim government calls upon all of our people, every Ambazonian out there, to remain vigilant, to stay away from Paul Biya's poisonous food gifts. They believe that they have made us so desperate that we will have no choice but to accept their poison gifts. But we trust Ambazonians to prove them wrong. We have managed in the bushes this far, and we shall continue to manage until we recover our territory, our independence. Ambazonians are strong and determined people. Let us remain, therefore, that way. The least every Ambazonian should do is to join the struggle to end Biya's armed robbery against Ambazonia. The moment that you stood on the sidelines, the moment you had your legs on both sides of the aisle, he is gone. This is the moment you choose where you belong. Those of our people who are being called upon to contribute money should not cheer Paul Biya on and then later come to contribute to this struggle. It would have been too late. It is cheaper to stop Biya's wars by opposing him than to remain silent and be forced to pay the bill later merely to please him. We call upon all people of goodwill in Ambazonia and Cameroon to rise up like one man and put an end to Biya's madness. And remember, we will live free or fight until victory comes our way. Again, that was a presentation, and I look forward to getting or taking your questions. Again, I gave you a phone number. The phone number for any question you may want to ask is 832-672-2759. Again, that number is 832-672-2759. I give you the opportunity to ask any question that you may pertaining to the state of the revolution, the state of the struggle, So use that number, 832-672-2759. Call that number. Ask any question that you would love the interim government to answer for you. Unfortunately, you're on ground zero on SCBC. Oh no, you can still call using your phone. So please go ahead, hit that number, 832. That is, remember the country code +1. If you're calling from out of the US, you will call +1, 832-672-2759. That is the number you will call if you have gotten a question to ask. I will sit here for a few moments. If you do not have a question or a call coming in, I will assume that you are all satisfied with the state of the revolution. So please go ahead and call the number 832-672-2759 if you've got a question to ask. Remember to add the country code +1 832-672-2759 832-672-2759. So go ahead, call that number and ask any question that you can. And remember, this revolution is still being funded. There are people who have been procrastinating on going on mytriptoboya.com. Please, even though that chapter was closed, we are still accepting donations. In fact, we will never stop accepting donations to fund this revolution so long as the war goes on. So please, if you have not yet made any contribution, please log to the website at your convenience and put in your contribution. Go to www.mytriptoboya.com. Again, www.mytriptoboya.com and make your contribution for My Trip to Boya. Again, those contributions, those donations, that project is still going on. It is officially over, but again, if you never had the opportunity to chip in your own dime, please, you still have that opportunity to do so. Get to the website, www.mytriptoboya.com, and make your payment. You can do so from Europe. You can do so from ground zero. You can also do so anywhere in the continental North America, South America, and Central America. Again, I am waiting for any questions that you may have on the state of the struggle. The number you want to call right now, and I will take your question, is 832-672-2759. Again, the number is 832. You must start with a country code if you are coming out of the US. The number +1 832-672-2759. I am expecting your call. All right. And again, I want to appeal for those on ground zero. Please, the days ahead will not be safe for anyone on ground zero, and even in French Cameroon, for those who are taking security or safety over there. Stock enough food in your homes. Stock enough drinking water in your homes. Go out and buy the cans, buy the gallons, buy the huge gallons, set them in your home, stock them with enough water in your home, because you just don't know what will happen the next day. These are safety measures that everyone should be looking forward to. And it is also very important that you know the self-defense or the restoration forces who are fighting for you in your community. Because when you are in danger, if anybody come harassing you for a ransom, abducting you or demanding money from you, call your restoration forces and tell them that somebody is harassing you. I bet you if they have their means, they will immediately come to your help. I think what we will do in the days ahead, we will have the ASC put up some hot numbers that we can pass out, that people can call in the case of emergency. But please, in the meantime, know those in your community who are fighting for you, who are out to defend you. We should never be in the situation to run away or to want to run away from our own boys who should be protecting us. We should be running away from La République du Cameroon terrorist soldiers, not from our own boys. So it is very important that you got to know them, acquaint with them, so that in times of need, you can reach out to them. It's very important. And also to the restoration forces, please let yourself known to your community so that they can reach out to you any moment they are in crisis, they are attacked. We have learned that people are receiving phone calls from people planted on the ground by Paul Atanganji, Ekema Patrick Musonge, and others. Please do not give a dime or a franc to anybody harassing you to pay you money. If you receive any threat, let somebody know who can come to your assistance. Again, I am waiting. If you got a phone call, if you got a question to ask, feel free to call the number +1 if you are calling from out of the state, +1 832 672 2759. Again, the number is +1 832 672 2759. And of course, remember, if you have not been to my Trip to Boya website, remember your donations are still being accepted. Get to the website, www.mytriptoboya.com. Make your contribution. There is no other platform, again, because I see some people are listing some phony websites for donations. There is no other legitimate website for donations other than mytriptoboya.com. Any other website that you see out there is illegitimate. The ultimate site for donations for this struggle is mytriptoboya.com. Any other link, any other website you see is a scam. Do not donate to any other website that you cannot trust, where you don't know the people behind. Go to mytriptoboya.com, make your donation, please. I've been sitting here now for a few minutes and no question. I want to believe that somebody said the phones are not working. The phone line is not working. I can't believe that. Please go ahead, try again. The phone should be working. There is no reason why it should not be working. Go please. I'm waiting for your call. I have just adjusted the phone line. So go ahead. Those of you who have been trying to call, go ahead and make your phone call. I've been told that the lines were not working. I'm sorry about that. But try again. If you can't get to the lines, just keep trying. Just keep trying. Again, the number is +1 832. The number is +1 832 672 2759. That is the number. That number is working. that is the number is working. And if you can post your question on the screen, maybe by some chance, may be able to read it. But in the absence of that, try the phone number. Again, the phone number is 832-672-2759. All right. In bad hands, say, Chris, check your phone. This Nisi says the phones are not going through. Nelson, the number isn't going through. Check Brownie Airlines. I don't get it. Why? All right, you give me a second to check the line, please. Give me a second to check the line. All right, I'm sorry about that. This is what I'm going to do. In the absence of the numbers or the phone line not working, I'm going to close the broadcast today. But next time when I come on, I promise you, we'll get the phone line working for you to be able to call in and ask your question. Again, I'm sorry about that, but I want to appreciate your tuning in today. I want to particularly thank those on Ground Zero who are watching by way of SCBC. Thank you so much. Thank you for your resilience. And well, I got a phone call coming in now. Hello? You can call back, please, if you were calling. I would take that. I would take that that call. Hello? Hello? All right. Thank you again, and thanks for watching today. God bless.